The first item of business is really to welcome all of you who are here tonight. And I just want to say thank you at this season of giving and thanksgiving in our nation and in our city. All of us have the ability, hopefully, to say something kind to your neighbor, whoever your neighbor may be, and particularly, as I said, at this holiday season. So I want to just say thank you for being here tonight. It is an honor for all of us who are Pasadena city staff and the elected officials to serve you, to serve you. It is our honor to do so. Hey, Tim, glad you can make it. With that, we're going to have the posting of the colors from Blair High School Junior ROTC. First Sergeant Hicks, and I'd like to introduce the young men and women, if I can read this, I hope. Ashley Batista, Gabriel Torres, Duke Wide, Valerie Flores, Miguel Garcia, Richie Lopez, Jose Sudres, Faith Silva, Adriana Rivas, David Decanos, Stephanie Pliago, Ali Ortega. Please welcome the Blair High School Junior ROTC. For those of us who can stand, please stand as they post the colors. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Corporal Allen of the Pasadena Police Department. Please welcome the Corporal Allen.
Are you having them present arms? All right, folks, place your right hand over your heart and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please give our young people a round of applause as well as our Corporal Allen. Now I would invite Tina Orduno Calderon from the Gabrielino Tongva Culture Keeper to open with a wonderful prayer in the native tradition or in the indigenous tradition. Welcome, Tina Orduno.
Mi hanehinkam tukara. Hello, my beautiful relatives. Netwanya netina tongvetna hakoi alat mix kanakwan. My name is Tina Orduno Calderon. I am Gabrielino Tongva as well as Ventureño Chumash. I was asked to do a brief, very brief, blessing. So one thing is to let you know that Thanksgiving, this time of year, actually is very, very special time for my people. My people were the original caretakers of the lands for thousands and thousands of years. But Thanksgiving is a new thing. It's important because we give thanks every single day, right? We are grateful every single day for all the blessings we receive. But this is harvest time. This is the time that we would collect our acorns and store our foods. And so that's why it's a time of blessing for us and a time of thanks. So I'd like to acknowledge the ancestors of this area first. Yarar Komokre Hanuk Vatam, Hahamangna. I had to remember where I'm at. So the original village of this area is Hahamangna, and so I acknowledge their ancestors. So we're just going to do a prayer song and wish you all blessings for this holiday season and beyond. Oh yeah, okay. Moke, 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 Alicia. Moke, 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 Alicia. Skuta ki alasa, skuta ki alasa. Ya, 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 ya. Tani kelekiyo, tani kelekiyo. Moke, 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 Alicia. Moke, 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 Alicia. Skuta ki alasan, skuta ki alasan. Ya, 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 ya. Tani kelekiyo, tani kelekiyo. Tehov Kopoami, may you all travel well and have a wonderful time. Be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now I'd like to make some brief introductions of the city staff who are here with us today. Our CEO or city manager, Steve Mermel, Deputy Fire Chief Brian Frieders, Police Chief John Perez, who you'll hear from momentarily, Human Resource Director Jennifer Curtis, Assistant General Manager of Water and Power, Mitch Dion, our Director of Housing, make sure that you meet him. Let's see, where is he? Director of Housing, Bill Wong. Bill is here, don't let him go without talking to him. Also, I'd like to introduce our City Attorney and Prosecutor, Michelle Bonaris. Michelle, our Public Information Officer, the incomparable Lisa Derderian. Lisa. Acting Deputy Chief Cheryl Moody, a veteran. I found that out. Air Force? Air Force. Let's see here. Human Services and Resources Director Brenda Harvey Williams. Brenda! And to keep the program moving, I would just like all city staff that are not sworn just to raise your hand and be recognized. Give them all a round of applause. City of Pasadena staff, both in here and in the other room in the gym. Then let's give a special round of applause for all of our fire personnel and police personnel who are here to keep us safe. Thank you. One quick introduction.
Sorry. I introduced myself. I neglected to introduce my grandson, so they want to make sure that you know this is Honor Officer Cruz Calderon. Thank you.
At this time, if the mayor is here, then we'll have him come up. If he's not here, we'll keep rolling. Is Mayor Terry Tornay or Assemblymember Chris Holden, who is my predecessor in this position? Hearing none, we'll keep it rolling. Overview of key issues and activities in housing survey. So you have in front of you, I hope, some of the critical issues that are facing District 3 in the city of Pasadena. I'd ask that you would take the time to review all of these items. Certainly they have been discussed at the city council level, but I don't expect, and nor should anyone expect, that everyone in this room watches the boring city council meetings on television. So I gave a synopsis of what I believe are the important issues. I'm going to stick around after this program is over and after the turkeys have been distributed, and you will be able to talk with me personally about any of the issues that you recognize here that are of great importance to you. And it is my expectation that many of the staff who are here tonight will also be around for you to share with them as well. Later on in the presentation, we'll go over the housing survey rather quickly. I do want to take some time on giving that feedback to you on what many of you provided us earlier in the year about housing issues. There's a young lady coming in. She needs a seat, so someone, I hope, will give her the seat to my left. At this time, I would invite our police chief, John E. Perez, to join us at the podium and give us an overview of some of the issues facing the city of Pasadena, and hopefully some facing District 3. Welcome, Chief Perez.
Good evening to everyone, and as we get going, I'd like to have our PPD people step into the room for a moment. These are your Pasadena police officers who are here, and a round of applause for them. With that, we should really get to know our police officers. Since January of last year, we have 39 new officers. That's a lot of officers, many of them from the community, and we should know who they are so they can help you. And I think that's what we're here for. Over the next year, over the next several months, you'll see our police department begin to change our resources so we begin to fit the expectations that you have of us in trying to get to neighborhood issues that we have so we get better. For us to be better, we need your help. We need your help to tell us where we could be better. So we make that commitment to you to find places in which we could improve our services to you. So I'm hoping we can build that relationship with each other. With that, when it comes to crime, we've had some issues over the past few weeks. I could begin with a homicide we had a couple weeks ago. We do have somebody in custody. The amount of crime this year is lower than it has been the last few years. We have double-digit decreases in crime, but that don't matter. If you have crime on your street, if you have an issue or somebody causing a problem on your street, that's what you care about the most. So if you have those issues, we're here to reach out to help you, so it's a cooperative relationship, doing the best that we can. So with that, what I want to do as I end this, I want to really thank Councilmember Kennedy. A round of applause for him. I'll tell you why in a moment. For 34 years I've been in this town. In many years we've seen the events that are important to us. It's rare we see what's happening in the other room, where we get a chance to connect and bring services to people who need them. That's what we should be doing as often as we can, so we're better at what we're doing. So again, a round of applause for the council member for getting that done, and all the services that are there. So with that, I'll give the mic back to the council member. Thank you.
Now recognized for District 3, as the police chief has already shared with us, crime is down, but as the police chief has said, he still wants to hear from you if there are issues affecting the community. We want you to feel safe and actually be safe. So we applaud the Pasadena Police Department. I'm chair of the Public Safety Committee. I had no idea actually that it was that many new officers. How many? 39 since January. And at our last community meeting, the police chief introduced the new young police officers, many of whom were residents or are residents of the city of Pasadena. That's a great commitment, a great improvement, and there was significant diversity in that number. So we want to applaud our chief, make sure that we continue to do that, and give him and the police department the support they need in collaboration with the community. All right. The next person I'd like to introduce is Brian Frieders, who is representing the fire department this evening. Brian, when you come up, I want you to share with the group what you do related to cancer awareness. Cancer is a plague that is affecting all of our families or relatives in some manner. And we are fortunate to have a leader like Deputy Chief Frieders as a part of our community. And just share a snippet of that and then go into the other aspects of your comments tonight. Please welcome our Deputy Chief, Brian Frieders.
Well, good evening, District 3. My name is Brian Frieders, and I serve as the Deputy Chief here. On behalf of Bertrell Washington, our Fire Chief, who couldn't be here tonight, we want to thank you very much for allowing us to be here. A quick snippet of what Mr. Kennedy represents that I do in my spare time, if there is such a thing, is I'm the president of the nationwide nonprofit called the Firefighter Cancer Support Network. And I think what might be alarming to most of you is that 1 in 3 of your firefighters at some point in their career will be diagnosed with cancer as a result of what they do. All the toxins that we get exposed to inside of a burning building are now causing cancer in 1 in 3 of us. And out of those 3, 50% of us will perish from cancer at some point in our lifetime. So our nonprofit helps support firefighters when they get diagnosed across the country. We're present in 45 states. We have 365 people that are members of our organization. I'm proud to be the president of that organization. We've helped more than 1,600 firefighters in the last 5 years, so I'm really proud of that. I'm proud that the city of Pasadena really embraces and has adopted some very safe practices for our firefighters. We've brought new policies and procedures to protect our firefighters. The city, the city council, the city manager have made investments in the city infrastructure to make sure that your firefighters are safe. I think Pasadena is a model city for the entire nation about what we're doing to keep our people safe. And I just want to make sure we recognize those that have allowed us to be safe. That's where you say thanks and applause. Well, as you know, it's been a little bit of a busy fire season. You know, we used to think that wildfire season happened sometime maybe around June and goes into October, but as you know, fire season lasts year-round. And this year, Chief Bagan, who just left on a call, a structure fire call right now, was actually deployed, and many of our firefighters were deployed to the Kincaid fire up in Sonoma and also the Saddle Ridge fire in Porter Ranch, which, as you know, devastated many families and many homes. I'm very proud of our fire department. We participate in a mutual aid program that allows us to send our resources to assist other agencies when they have these homes and these people's lives that are being threatened. It's automatic, it's swift, and it's effective. The good news for us is, if we ever had a fire like that in Pasadena, we would expect the same group of people that we're helping to come and help us. We have that memorialized in agreements, we have helicopters, we have resources available to us, so that Pasadena, once again, is one of the safest cities in this area. I'll also just highlight one more thing, Mr. Kennedy, if it's okay with you, is many of you know about our homeless issue that exists here in Pasadena. And working with the police department and our friends in the HOPE team, the fire department created something with our public health department called the Pasadena Outreach Response Team. And what that does is it sends one of our firefighters out every day into the community, the homeless community, and it allows us to interact with them and get them into placement and to provide services for them and give folks a chance to survive the devastating effects of homelessness. We've had 26 people so far up to today that have been placed in a shelter or have been homed so they can get back on their feet and get their lives started again. And I'm super proud of our with that said, I'll just conclude by saying thank you very much for your undying support of the fire department. I appreciate it. We hear it, we feel it, we know this community is behind us. We're here for you, and I'm honored and privileged to be part of this organization. So thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Does anyone out there have a copy of the survey? Can I borrow your copy real quick, please, of the survey? The housing survey. So I'd like to go over the survey because I think it's indicative of the challenge that the Pasadena City Council has related to building affordable housing and housing our lower income residents. As you know, the median price for a single family home in the city of Pasadena is over $800,000. It would be very difficult for anyone to be able to afford such costly housing. Historically, the city of Pasadena had a tool, as most of you know, called redevelopment, which assisted us in building affordable housing. The previous governor eliminated redevelopment laws so he could balance the books at the state level. And then the state level continued to provide and mandate particular activities for localities without providing any resources. So we call that unfunded mandates. So a lot of statutes are being passed at the state level and they trickle down to the local level, but there has not been a trickling down of the resources that we need to build the affordable housing. So if all of you have the survey, let's take a quick look at it. So there are 42 total surveys, 36 from District 3 residents. 19 of those surveyed, 52%, rent. And that, in some respect, is indicative of what the actuality is across the whole city. We are a city of majority renters. When I last looked at the data, and this small sampling of District 3 also reflects that. The average length of a person who responded to the survey is 13.6 years. That's significant. The fourth question, if you are currently employed, how far is your place of work from your home? The average distance was 7.4 miles. The next question, the cost to rent in Pasadena, is it too high, about right, low? 80% of the respondents, as you see on page 1, said that it's too high. As we turn the page to page 2, the cost to buy a house in Pasadena, number 1 choice, too high at 91.67%. Going to the lower part of page 2, I support the building and development of affordable housing in all council districts. The respondents, 97%, said yes. Now, why is that significant? Because a part of the housing element in the city of Pasadena, I was successful in convincing my colleagues that we needed to distribute affordable housing throughout all of the districts and not just concentrate it in one particular or 3 particular districts, meaning District 1, 3, and 5. So we want to see that housing actually taking place throughout the whole city of Pasadena. For the very low, and moderate income. Let's go to the end question on page 2. I am in favor of the city of Pasadena adopting an empty house tax . 88% of the respondents said yes. Why is that significant? Because the number of people from other countries and locally, domestically, buy homes in Pasadena and they leave them vacant. Not exactly sure why, don't want to extrapolate yet on that issue. But the fact of the matter is that the community seemingly is supportive of some kind of tax on those issues to help build affordable housing. I would support a special assessment or tax to help fund the building of more affordable housing. 63.89% of the responders said yes. So I'm going to wrap this part of the program up now and give you an opportunity to read in detail the respondents to the survey. I think you'll find it useful. It is not empirical, obviously. It is just a sampling of those who came to one of our community meetings, but I think it is instructive to me personally and certainly to Bill Wong, who is our housing director, and also to our CEO, city manager, Steve Mermel. And hopefully the mayor will show, and if he doesn't, I'll make sure that I tell him that unanimously in the room that all of you said he needs to find the money so we can re-elect him. Right? Right? All right. Okay, next item on the agenda. Looks like closing remarks from the city council member. I think I want to serve in that role. Let's see. Let's go over some rules. Is Susanna here? Give a round of applause to Susanna Juarez. She is the district liaison for District 3. She was instrumental in putting all of this together, working long hours, many hours at 10 o'clock at night. I guess I shouldn't say that, but that's the reality. I have great expectations for service for my community, and so it's good to have a partner like Susanna Porras, who organizes our interns, makes sure that they have real responsibilities in advancing the services that I believe I need to provide to our community. So again, give a round of applause to Susanna. I'd like to invite Terry Turntine, the pastor of Deliverance Tabernacle Church, Kojic, to come forward. Now, as he comes forward, for all of you who want to understand what Kojic means, it means they shout in church, it means they speak in tongues, it means they prophesy, and he'll be prophesying good over all of you tonight. Please welcome Reverend Terry Turntine.
Good evening. Before I pray, I've lived in this community for over 50 years. And there is no better community than the Pasadena community that we live in right now. Yeah. And as we begin to receive our turkeys, we've come and we're unified. I'd like to challenge you as the city councilman, our city councilman is giving us an act of kindness of these turkeys. Let us start a chain reaction across Pasadena to start an act of kindness every day, continually, to your neighbors and those all around you. Is that all right? Let's show the world, let's be a leader, show the world that Pasadena is the place to be. And we're smiling and we're happy to be where we are. All right? All right, grab somebody by the hand. Father God, we thank you, Lord. We thank you for this time. We thank you for this season. We thank you for allowing us to be unified in the city of Pasadena. We ask a blessing over this season of giving, the season of prosperity. We ask a special blessing over our leaders, Lord, to continue to give them wisdom and guidance. Bless the community, Lord. Keep us safe at this time. Keep us prosperous. And we're going to ask these blessings in your name. Amen.